Hello, my friends. So today, what I want to do is I want to influence you, persuade you, and motivate you to let you understand that if you have a dream, that means you can do it. I once, Let me tell you a story about one time when I actually worked in a factory. It was a distribution center, and in this distribution center, it was nonstop work 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, mandatory in a freezer, and in that freezer was very cold. I found myself struggling to complete a job. I always struggle to find any kind of motivation in me, any growth. So I felt like I was almost being worked like a mule, and I was so busy pointing my finger at everyone else, and I was bringing the job down, pointing fingers at everyone else. I wasn't taking any accountability for myself. So what I found is that I just was tired. I was so tired that I wasn't able to persevere anymore. I didn't have any direction or where I wanted to go. I just found myself coming home at the end of the week just to return back to work again without any days off. It was a revolving doors. And I was just so tired. I was exhausted. I was broken. And with that, I would just leave that job and move on to a next job that led to the same thing and being a distribution center, working in a factory, working in a freezer, working in a warehouse. And You know, it. I learned a lot from these jobs, but at the same time, it's not something that I wanted. I was, I was, I was thinking like a mule, so I was acting like a mule. So what I was doing is I was actually bringing down these companies too with my negativity, because that's something that I didn't have a desire to do. I had no growth in there. Why? Because I didn't direct myself in the right path to grow. I just put all that negativity in myself, and I was doing my own rationalizing in my own mind, thinking that I was without any use or any worth because of my background and my education. I thought that what else can I be good for except for a mule or just do all the dirty work? But I had to find out that you know that it's not so bad to always start from the bottom to get to the top. Sometimes you gotta you gotta scrub toilets or sweep floors just to move up into a company, and sometimes you just need to let that sick pride go. So what I did is I just flooded myself with so much negativity, and to the point where I just was worn out and I just gave up on myself. So I quit the job. I had nothing else to fall on to. I thought that I could do better, but in the back of my mind, I always said, my background, my environment, my education, what am I worth? So then I would go to a temp service and I would do the same thing over and over. It would be very repetitive. It'd be a revolving door. And it would never get any easier. The jobs just always seemed to pay less. But I always seemed to have more experience in these things. But when it came to when it came to filling out resumes and feeling like I was educated, it was always the same thing. I could not do these things. I had no knowledge of these things. I had no help. I thought I could do all these things on my own, which I couldn't. I was so broken and so tired and so negative and so hard on myself that I didn't allow myself to move forward until years and years passed by, and I was just tired. I was tired of not having nothing. I was tired of not having any accomplishments, any growth.